the first thing, though, since Isekai came out, I'm not sure if any of you guys have heard, but this is the big one in Isekai news. Sword Art Online Progressive is getting an anime, or as I like to call it, the good Sword Art Online. Because
God,
I'm sorry. This is where I'm going to go at it. We were talking about this briefly before we started recording. SAO peaked after the Aincrad arc. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah. Pro tip, if you're planning on getting into Sword Art Online, don't even bother watching the first 2 seasons. Just watch the SAO Abridged series on YouTube, because this is the only anime where the Abridged series is actually better than the original.
Whoa. I love the Aincrad arc. Don't get me wrong. I know some of this stuff is bad, but you got to admit, some of the technical aspects, like the music in Sword Art Online, is absolutely stellar, especially paired with the action sequences.
Yeah, but without plot and any meaningful character development, there's really no point to watching it, because it's just a pile of nothing.
Wait,
I'm about to say, if it's just the music, couldn't you just listen to it somewhere else?
If you're literally watching the show just for the purposes of music, you can download and find the playlist online somewhere for probably
no. Okay. Let me represent this. Coming from a perspective of really being a video major and going through the stuff, pairing music with good action sequences and dialogue is really good. You can't deny the fact that the one scene where Kirito has going after the one, I can't remember the monster's name, but it's the goat monster, and Swordland is playing in the background, and he's saying, gotta go faster, gotta go faster. You can't deny that that's a really good action scene right there.
Yeah, he was acting like Sonic because he had to go fast. Speaking of acting, just to get the other thing, Edwin Noah, my brother is clearly a fan of SAO. Tea Leaf is not SAO. Edwin Noah, you care to split the divide a little?
Actually, it's hard for me because I only seen pieces of it, and I did not like what I was seeing, I guess. I stopped the series.
I don't hate SAO. I dislike the way that they did the anime, because if you actually read the light novels, it's a lot better because they have a lot better pacing. There's a lot more character development. There's a lot more thought that goes into progressing the storyline. Whereas the anime, because they had to fit it into 12 or 24 or however many episodes, had a lot of pacing issues in the first 2 seasons.
I will at least agree with you on that.
I had a huge problem with that, because that caused them to cut out a huge amount of the actual relevant plot details and character development that these characters are working through from being trapped in this video game situation.
I will agree with you that they did cut stuff down.
Wait, real quick, Joe. I know, Noah, you actually read the light novels for SAO. Please, give us your thoughts on the anime.
One of my favorite chapters was actually the extra chapter, but I did.
Of course it is.
I really did enjoy the light novel, and I do find some guilty pleasure in watching the anime.
There we go. I got someone on my side. There we go.
Okay, so we have a nice even split of Edwin and Tea Leaf are kind of like no on SAO. Joe and Noah are like yes on SAO. Me personally, no.
But you did agree that the Aincrad arc was okay.
Yeah, I can agree that the Aincrad arc was okay, but then this was the thing. Kirito is the quintessential of a Mary Sue. Like, what's wrong? Like, there's literally, after the first season, it's like, nothing's really wrong with the man.
A problem with the Aincrad.
He kind of became unlikable to the point where they had to make the second arc villain such a scumbag, such a weird tongue-licking face dude, that you had to hate him by default. Not because the main character was likable, but because the main villain was such a dirtbag.
But still, I do want to bring up a point. Even though it was a dirtbag, it was voiced in the dub by Todd Havercord. So you can't 100% hate him.
Did not save that.
You can't 100% hate him. You can 99.9% hate him, but you can't 100%.
Oh, I can.
Habercorn is an
So
amazing voice
if
actor.
Kirito was so unlikable, why did like literally everybody at the cosplay conventions dress up as him for that 1 year that
Because
Online first
he's
came out?
literally the only memorable character that people can dress up as.
Maybe because they
There's so many other animes out there, though.
Like, to put it in perspective,
because they like him.
there were
So.
put this in perspective, there were 2 seasons of SAO Alicization arc being released over the last season, which would have been spring, summer because of the whole COVID thing, and into fall-ish because they just wrapped up the end of it. That entire series was mostly enjoyable because Kirito was a fucking vegetable for half of it.
Okay, well, the first part of Alicization was actually good. I will admit, Alicization has hit its stride in some places, and it's whiffed in other places. SAO is kind of like one of those, it's good in some places, and it's not good in other places. It's a very inconsistent series.